Josh Billings said a dog is the only thing on earth that loves you more than he loves himself. Roger Carras also feels dogs are not a whole life, but they make our lives whole. I agree with both, in fact. For that reason, I am keen on keeping my dogs healthy always. Today is World Rabies Day under the theme End Rabies Together. In Ghana, we'll mark the day with a dog walk. You won't believe it. Yes, a dog walk. Rabies is 100% vaccine-preventable disease. However, despite the availability of tools to manage the disease, rabies prevails to cause tens of thousands of deaths every year. The disease strangely affects poor, low-resource communities, particularly children, with 4 out of every 10 human deaths by rabies occurring in children younger than 15 years. Dr. Bashiru Boy Kikimoto is the head of public health veterinary services, and I'm happy that he has joined us here in studio. Good morning, Doc.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Mama V.
Thank you so much for your time.
The only Mama V with the sweetest voice in Ghana.
Oh my God, thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes.
So, on this day, what should we know?
What we need to know is that, as you rightly said in your intro, rabies is 100% preventable, but it so happens that more than 60,000 people die worldwide every year, which is totally unacceptable. So that is why this year's World Rabies Day, which falls today, says let's end rabies together, because we need everybody to be on board, to educate the people, to know that, as the professor said, the dogs and rabies, the cats and all these monkeys and pets, they are all part of the family. And we must take good care of them, give them the necessary vaccinations, feed them well, so that they don't get these diseases. Yeah.
Okay. So if you have a dog, how should you begin to take care of them? What should you be doing?
Yeah, first is when you buy a puppy. They have 6 killer diseases, just like the children. So you first take that puppy to veterinary. Then they will give the vaccination for the 6 killer diseases, of which rabies is part of it.
Okay.
So that will be up to the age of 3 months. So by that time you have finished all with parvovirus enteritis, you know, and all other diseases that are concerned. There are 6. Then after that, rabies, like, because it's endemic in Ghana, there are a lot of people have been dying from rabies in Ghana. So because of that, the disease is here with us. So every year you have to go back and vaccinate the dog. That's what you have to do. Yeah.
So every year you go to take the vaccine?
Yes, every year.
So that your dog does not get rabies?
Yeah.
Okay. I know that they also have the immunization book, the card.
Yeah, yeah.
Are you supposed to follow through exactly what it says you should do? Yes,
that is why it is a health book, a health certificate for you. So every time you know what to do, everything is written there. You need to do this at 4 weeks, you need to do that at 6 months, you have to do this in 1 year. Everything is there. So you have to follow that thing as it is written. Yeah.
Okay. How do you know your dog has got rabies?
Yeah, there are so many ways, Mama Vida, you can know. You know, the rabies has 3 types, but normally we even just consider the 2 here. You know, we have the silent and the aggressive type. So if you have a dog or a monkey or a cat, and you see that generally in the house, the dog is very nice to you, the cat is nice to you, or the monkey is nice to you, all of a sudden, you know, you see that the behavior changes. You must start suspecting that it has a disease. But which of the diseases, you will not have to know, because you know that you have to vaccinate them every year. So you ask yourself, have I vaccinated my pets this year? If no, then you have to start thinking, 1. The second thing is that if the dog is generally aggressive in the house, and all of a sudden you come one day, you see that it's lying down, it's not minding you, it doesn't care, then you must start suspecting why this dog has changed all of a sudden. So this is where you really need always to be in constant touch with your veterinary doctor, so that he knows. Actually, like in Europe, most doctors, veterinary doctors, know their clients very well, and they have a schedule that when it is time, they will themselves will call you and tell you.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, they have it's computerized, because I remember when I was in the UK in 1988, we were having all these house visits, you know, to make sure that things were under control.
When your dog is not well, you know, when you realize the dog is not behaving normal,
yeah,
and you take the dog to see the vet, is he supposed to do some checks or just try things on the dog?
No, you know, veterinary medicine is just like human medicine. You know, it's all 6 years, 6 years. So you have got so much in-depth training that when they bring a pet or a dog, you know, it doesn't talk to you. So you must use all the necessary tools and knowledge that you have learned within those 6 years and analyze the situation and see what you have to do. We're gathering the anamnesis vitae. What we talk about anamnesis vitae is all the data about the life of the animal. Then you compare that one to the family, the history of the family. Then you juxtapose that to what is happening currently that is standing in front of you. Then you draw your own conclusions based on what you have gathered.
Okay.
So that is the anamnesis vitae. So when you gather all this one, then you now have to go further, because don't forget that diseases are almost similar when it comes to the way they manifest themselves, the signs and symptoms. For example, for a dog like that, you have over 28 diseases from a dog alone. And for a cat, you have over 29 diseases. You see, and so you must try to find out which of them is the cause of this disease. And I'm talking about these diseases which are common to man and animal. It's not that these are just diseases peculiar to the dog or the cat. So based on this one, and also based on the experience of the doctor that you are standing in front of, and also based on his further qualifications and experience and practice, he'll be able to tune down, narrow the thing down to a certain diagnosis. And if he doubts, he'll go for further laboratory tests to confirm whatever diagnosis he was suspecting.
Okay. So it's the laboratory test that I want to talk about.
Okay.
I realize that it's not very common. Because I lost the dog. And if they had done the test, the dog wouldn't have died.
Sometimes there are certain deaths that are unavoidable. But there are certain deaths. For example, if you bring the sample, a dog to the veterinary, we'll take blood samples, and then we'll go and run the test. We run for certain tests because depending on what we have seen on the animal, we'll narrow the thing down to certain diseases that we have to go and differentiate in the lab, and then confirm. Then we prescribe the necessary remedies for the disease.
But do you realize that I don't know about all, but quite a good number of the clinics don't have that service?
You are very right. You know, here in Ghana, it is just because people don't see the dogs and cats and monkeys or pets generally as part of the family. That is why the patronage to the laboratory is not seen. But we have all the necessary gadgets. We use PCR machines in our labs. We have rapid test kit. We have these tips. We have everything that you can find in any well-furnished human laboratory here in Accra. Anything. We even don't forget that formerly when Ghana did not develop like this, veterinary was running human samples in Ho, in Tamale. You know, Ghana was not developed. So we were doing all the human tests for them. Yeah, we can do full blood.
So we have the equipment.
We have the knowledge too.
Are we making use of it? Or we're just treating the pets as animals? So.
No, it's the people are not making use of it, because sometimes I think they look at the cost. For example, if there's infertility and you want to do swabs, you know, sorry to use this word, vaginal swabs or preputial swabs, and we will check in the lab and see what is the problem that this dog is not giving birth. We can do all those things. People just don't actually patronize. That's the whole problem. Yeah, if you come to Accra, we do all for you. Yes.
Wow.
Because they are just animals like us. They know love like us. They know everything like us. They understand.
Is it important to have pets as human beings?
Very, very, very important. Look, my dogs like this, I won't talk much about them. But what I tell you, anybody who has dogs and cats and monkeys in the house, they are part of your family. They understand you. You know when you keep, look, you know why in Europe people keep long? Because these pests are actually, they help you to prolong your life. You know, they remove diseases from you. For all those with hypertension, when you keep a cat, you know, it comes, it whacks the tails around you. You know, it helps to cool your system down. In fact, they help to treat diseases. So they are not looking for men for security. They are not meant just as pets, but they also help to prolong your life and cure diseases in you.
That's what I'm struggling to get.
Yes, I can just give you a typical example of my own. You know, I have 3 cats in my house. My wife used to complain about some, you know, pains around her distance. And you know, this cat, they're very sensitive. Go and sit on her and massage her. Do you know that for the past 4 years, she's never complained about that thing again? They treat diseases. They know what to do. They are very intelligent.
Wow.
Very, very intelligent.
But you know, sometimes the fear also is if they have certain diseases, they can easily give it to you because you're so close.
That is why you need to take very good care of them, because we ourselves are human beings. We give disease to ourselves. Is that not it? So what do you expect them who use the subconscious to work? For example, you know, you can converse with your dog, but you can't converse like the way you and me we are conversing.
Yeah.
What they say, come here, run, sit down. And that way he understands. But if you say, oh, if you do that next time, I'm going to beat you, and you are just talking plenty, you are lecturing, you understand you again. So you have to bring them up to a certain level, from puppy stage to adult stage.
Yeah.
They are just very perfect and wonderful.
But there's a dog walk. I can't believe we're in Ghana, we're talking dog walk. What's that all about?
Yeah, you know, we have a Kennel Union of Ghana. If you go to UK and advanced country, we have what we call kennels. And these kennels have dogs that they have, and they have data on all the dogs. They know the parent, they know the breed, they know the genetic makeup, they know the constitution, the phylogenetic need of the dogs. So when you need a dog, you just go to the web, and then you just I need a Chihuahua. All Chihuahuas will come out on the computer. Then you now look at the kind of traits and character that you want. Do you want one which is like this? So you now call that kennel house, and then they will deliver the dog to you and collect the money. So now Ghana, they are trying to form that union so that people take very good care of their dogs, vaccinate them every time, walk them, talk to them, so they understand. So even when we met Saturday, they had a walk from Dankwa Circle to La Veterinary Hospital.
With the dogs?
With the dogs. And you know, I was surprised, you know, because I didn't know they really trained them very well. And you know that they were not backing at each other from different parts of Accra. And they were all friendly. So so they want to make sure that Ghana advances the way it does things. And that's why the Kennel Union of Ghana was formed. And I think they are doing well. There are not many, but I think they have started doing something well. And it will help us to know what type of dogs and kennels where we have to go and buy the dogs. And not just somebody say, you know, my dogs, that then you go and buy. Because you don't know how the person has been taking care of them. I know one Italian, we used to call him dog father. He had about 56 dogs. You know, the time that I was still practicing, I used to go and have a look at them. And I realized that, in fact, it was not, it just kept them like, it's an open garage. So sometimes it's better to have these dog kennels so that you can always go to them and collect a puppy that is of good standard.
Yeah. Why are they so expensive?
Oh, you know, one of the main things that you don't understand why, we are saying it is expensive because, you know, we are a developing country. And people now even start saying that, oh, Ghana is difficult. So sometimes you are comparing yourself to that animal. That's why it's very expensive. But in Europe, where already the life is at a certain level, they don't see that it's very expensive. You know, you look, when Mike Tyson did not feed his rabbit or this thing, you know, they charge him $300 for lunch. It's $300 for not feeding the dog for lunch. So we, the way we see things, we see like, oh, that's why we say, oh, I'm a veterinary doctor. Somebody says, oh, see, because they don't understand. You see, it's a lot of illiteracy. That is the problem. And also people are struggling for the same food with the dogs, you know, because
the dog food is expensive. I mean, everything about the pets is, I mean, taking them to the vet is also expensive.
Of course. In fact, let me tell you, now, look, sometimes I go to, I'm not able to get the dog food to buy. People are buying them, and they're expensive.
Yes.
You go, you can't get. You know why? People now have realized that keeping dogs is very important, because even a dog is more reliable than a watchman. The watchman that will go out and tell people the time you are not there, and they should come and harass you. The dog doesn't know that. You see, so I think that Ghanaians should move away from keeping watchmen and then go in for these big dogs, you know, I mean, and keep them, because they will not go out and tell your stories. You know, yesterday my madam fought with the husband and all that, you know.
So your secret are safe with the dogs?
Yeah, oh, I have 5 dogs, so I'm very reliable. They're very reliable.
Yeah, but you know that other people also crossbreed the dogs.
Yeah.
What's a no, or everything is okay?
No, you know, the crosses, just like we human beings do. You know, for example, somebody wants to marry somebody from his village. Somebody wants to marry somebody far away, so that the children that you have will be very, very strong. And you know that the crossbreeding, it normally enhances certain characters and certain traits. That is why people do the crossing. Maybe you have a female that is not aggressive, then you have a male that is very aggressive. So you want a little bit of aggressiveness in your house. Actually, the essence of crossing is to make certain traits that will develop the certain tendencies to test the environment in which you are living and to enhance certain qualities which you lack.
Okay.
That's the essence. Yeah.
So I have a male and a female dog.
Yeah.
We're keeping them in different
kennels.
Yes.
Yeah.
But somebody advised that we should keep both in one.
Oh, it depends. Is it male and female?
Yes.
Oh no. As for them, you know, the male and you know, dogs, they have sex once in 6 months. So it's better. Yeah, it's better you keep them separately.
Okay.
So that in case even of a disease, they are separated. You can treat them individually, because there are certain diseases which are like common, and then they are contagious. So if they are together, and then it just touches the other one, then you get it. So, but you know, when they are on heat, it will easily show that it is on heat. So for them, they are able to, you know, because of the pheromones that are released, they're able to see that this dog is on heat. So they themselves will even move there. So there's no need keeping them just because you want to put them together because of skin disease. Because there are certain dogs that are very prone to skin diseases, like those with short hair. You know, like Dobermans, they normally develop skin diseases. So if you mix that one, if a Rottweiler, which does not develop skin diseases much, then you are indirectly transferring the disease to other one through contagious means.
Okay.
And that is why I always advise that keep them separately. All my dogs, they are all in different kennels. They always have to be in their kennels. They have their bowls where they eat. They have the one for drinking water. So if you even change the bowl, they will not take, because they know that that's not their own. Yes, you have to train your dogs, you know, to understand that they are part of your family. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So let's talk about rabies and how often dogs in Ghana get it.
Yeah, you know, in Ghana we have a problem in the sense that first we used to do what was called mass vaccinations. Every year we go around with the districts and all the regions, and we beat gong gong and vaccinate the dogs free of charge. But since 1996, you know, with the intervention of the global world, we've not been doing that again, but we've sometimes been carrying out what is called targeted vaccinations. For example, a local assembly can get up with a veterinary and go around and vaccinate dogs, and then take some little fees for us. Because the vaccines we actually import, we don't produce them in Ghana, so that's why we take the fees. Because of that, it looks like since that time we stopped vaccinating regularly, the rabies cases in Ghana is on the ascendancy. For example, last year, I know from January to August, we lost over 37 people in Ghana alone.
Humans?
Yeah, 2014, yeah, humans.
Okay.
Humans, not dogs. We lost about 4 people in Upper East. Even one included a child, a JSS child, 13 years. You know, he saw a puppy, and then I think, you know, locally some people take the dog.
Yeah.
And then he thought it's a small, I mean, it's just this small, it can't do anything. And he beat him, you see. But he still ate the meat and everything after that. But he didn't know, he took it light. But finally ended up dying. So we lost about, 4 people there. We lost about 3 people in Suhum. We lost about 24 people in Ashanti region. We lost 1 person at Simfosu.
So all these from dog bites?
All from dog bites. All from dog bites. Even there was a pig that had also showed some sign, but we didn't confirm So we left it. And so there are a lot of things we are sitting on, because people sometimes don't understand that when you have a dog bite case, you need to immediately report the situation to your nearest veterinary clinic, then to the human clinic, then because we are working together. You know, I've been working with Dr. Silverboy of Kolobu. We work together.
Okay, so you go to the vets. And first. And then go to the vets first.
The first. Then we give you a form. Then with that form we give you, we take data of you and everything, and then we send that form to the hospital. Normally we direct them to Adabraka.
Okay.
And then Rich, because we have the public health institution there. So when you go there, then they will take care of them at least the first 8. Then you will not come back again to veterinary. Then go and bring the dog for quarantine and observation. That is, so we collaborate very well with my public health counterparts in the health sector.
Okay, but if you're in any of the other regions?
Yeah, all the regional bosses are representing me in the regions. All the regional directors, I'm not there because we don't have the people. So they will represent my interest there. So, and then the district will also represent my interest. So anything you report, finally will come to me in Accra here.
Okay, so more like you go to the regional hospital.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
So these statistics you've just given us, that's for January to August 2014 alone.
Yeah, this year will even be more, because I've not been able to gather all the information yet, but I just look at 2 regions. Upper East, 3, not Upper West, 9. So already 12.
Just for 2 in 2015?
Yes, just up to August.
Okay.
You see.
Can you give us the figures again?
Upper East 3, Upper West 9. So 12. Just for 2 regions from January to August this year alone.
Okay.
You can imagine.
Wow.
So people are actually dying, and that is because they don't report. You see, and
but do the dogs themselves also die?
Why not? The dog will die. They will die. But the problem, before they die, they have already beaten about 2-3 people. That's the problem. And also because we have what is called community dog keeping, which is bad. You know, for example, I know a very big man, I won't mention the name. He has plenty dogs. I don't think he even knows their name. I don't think he has given their names. You see the problem. And I don't think they eat from bowls, you know. So when it's like that, you can, and they mix together. When we move from Nima to Laboni, and then come and bite you and go back. So you will say there's a stray dog, but it's a community dog. Because any dog that is moving around, if you throw a stone against it, he knows the house to enter. Is that not it? So don't think that they are not intelligent. They know that if there's death, I know where my house is. You will go. But when they don't get the food, they will move around as if they don't have owners. They know their owners. Yes, that is the good thing about them. They are not like us. You see, as for human being, he doesn't like you, but pretend like he likes you. As for dog, if he doesn't like you, show that he doesn't like you. That's why I like them more than human beings. As for human being, you laugh with you. You look at a foolish man.
So, dog walk has happened already. It's not
it has happened,
today.
But today we are going to Osu Presby Church.
Okay.
To have the lunch. Don't forget, we are organizing a Rabies conference, international conference in Ghana next year. So this year we are using the World Rabies Day to launch that one. So all the dog walk people are coming there today with their dogs. With their dogs, because they have to be vaccinated free of charge for them.
Oh.
Yes, and then all other people who have dogs and this, and they have to bring them to Osu Presby Church this morning around 12 or 10 to 11. Then they will be vaccinated free of charge for them.
Okay.
And then we are going to give some species over there. I'll be representing my minister. So I think your crew will come and cover it.
We will.
And see how dogs are behaving well. I mean, they respect people and respect themselves more than the way we sometimes do our things. So
what if your dog was vaccinated over the weekend, for instance? Must you get this vaccination again? No.
You know, the rabies vaccine, we're actually supposed to be giving it every 8 months because Ghana is endemic. But you know, in Ghana, when you tell somebody 8 months, he may not be able to follow the protocol. So we just tell you every year.
Okay.
So that in case, even when you are mixing the 8, and you still cover the 10 at the 12. That's why we say that. If not, normally, under normal, once Ghana is endemic, by the World Health Organization and then the World Animal Health Organization regulations and rules, every 8 months, when the country is endemic for that particular zoonotic disease, not only rabies, including all other TB and all those ones. You need to make sure that you do regular vaccinations. Only that because of our peculiar situation, we find ourselves. We sometimes don't use some of the vaccines in our country because we don't want vaccines to mutate, because some of them are live vaccines. They can mutate or change and create problems for us. That's why we sometimes manage things the way we manage them to suit our situation. We all went abroad to study, but you see, knowledge is so vast. But when we come here, we try to adopt what can suit our situation. Yeah. So that's why we normally call domestication of international policies to suit your situation.
Yeah. If you had your own way, finally, would you bring back that national vaccination exercise?
Yeah, it is very, very important. It is very important. You see, why people were thinking that, people were used to free things in Ghana. But since 1996, there's nothing you can get free again. That is the whole problem where it's becoming difficult. So when somebody says, I'm doing something free, you have to open your eyes very well, because...
So even if you could, even if you don't have the funds to do that, do you?
That is why I'm saying that since 1996, Ghana has advanced a lot. And you can see that free things no more exist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your greatest challenge?
Our greatest challenge is illiteracy. And secondly, Ghana is a developing country, and a lot of people are not able to take very good care of their pets because they are thinking about their stomach first. And now we see that, why do people always fight because of stomach? This stomach is one of the first things to rot when you die. That's why in the hospital, the doctors will remove that one first. But people will fight because of stomach. Everything, all this.
No confuse.
No confuse. It's not good.
All right, Doc. Thank you so much for sharing a bit of World Rabies Day with us here on our show. I'm really grateful.
I'm also grateful to meet you. I'm so happy that we are talking about World Rabies today with the only Mama V of Ghana. Thank you very much.
My guest, Dr. Bashiru Boy Kikimoto, he's the head of public health veterinary services. And that's it for Rabies Day. If you've got your pets, your dogs with you today and you're in Accra, you can go to the Osu Presby Hall about 10 to about midday and get them vaccinated. Coming up next is Talk with Roland Walker.